Hello everyone, GoldenHawk here, creator of Ancient Powers and High Priestess of the House of Life. I came to speak with you today about the families in the world that we're born into. Because we come in here alone. Very alone. It's not that we don't love our families, because we do. But we don't resonate with them for the most part, and they don't resonate with us. There are a few of us out there that are lucky enough, or maybe creative enough, to have bonded with a family member over the years, the decades even, to where we've got a family member that not only supports us, but maybe is even working with us. Because we do come to awaken others. But one of the pieces inside my mind from the time that I was a very small child, the pieces of information that were coming out of my mouth, was my father saying to me, "Well, little girl, what do you think? The whole rest of the world's wrong and you're right? You better think again." And every time I thought again, and I looked out at the whole rest of the world, it was still wrong. And it's wrong today. I can look at the politics. I can look at where the abundance is going. I can look at the people dying, sick, starving. I can look at the world being killed. I see how far forward we come and how it slides back, and how most of the world is in apathy or inertia. They think that's the way it's always been. But most of you out here on my page, you came in here knowing a different world. You came here remembering a different world. You may be from those who knew the world before the cataclysm, when humanity was whole, when the earth was still connected by its umbilicus to the sun. Because it's not just us that are disconnected, but the higher dimensions are actually disconnected from us. We go traveling into the astral plane thinking we're going into heavens and hells. We're working with masters. Gods are coming. That they're constructs. Or they were trapped here in the cataclysm with us, and their only way out is us. I know that many of you have had dreams, have had awarenesses. Some of these dreams may have been waking dreams of these other structures. Maybe it was the pyramid civilization. It was global. Maybe, maybe these ancient memories that you have, that you touch on, that stream through you sometimes, maybe they were tribal. And you go, how could I have been an African? How could I have been a Mayan? How could I have been Irish? And Ireland's completely different than it was. How could I have been not from the genetics in rebirth, the family that I come to? Before the cataclysm, the ancient ones, the Shemsu Hor, the ancient and shining ones here, knew that the earth was in trouble. A huge piece of a star hurtling through a system that they had better ways of studying than we do now. They knew it was coming. They created a place for humanity, part of it, to go. I feel that billions died. Elementals were trapped. Sometimes we feel them in our bodies because they were trapped into lineages. The Fae, the fairy folk, the elves, the sylphs. I think I say that wrong almost every time. But we were all here beforehand, and there was a special group that was called in. And for a long time, I've called them the returners. Hathor, Hathor Ninefold One. She calls them sons of the sun and daughters of the sun. And their consciousness was called from each one of the stargates that Ra, Re. Each stargate that was inside that connection. And we answered. Star seed. Everything on this earth is a star seed. The sun is in the Pleiades. The core of the earth is from Sirius. We're all star seeds. You're talking about the star born, who came in answer to a call. And they came in together. And they were separated. And very, very few and far between have ever been able to meet each other, except maybe in places where they've been imprisoned and tortured and burned to death. And you all remember this too, in bits and snatches. And you remember the worlds you came from. Maybe in dreams, maybe in visions, maybe you're clairaudient and you open your mouth up. Maybe you see it and feel it through your sensitivities. Maybe you're chained into it by your empathy because you're starting to feel the others around you. But you've walked alone. And many of you have been punished. If not in this time, in other lifetimes. And your abilities have been twisted inside the genetics that you were born into. Like, why is this man my father? Why is this woman my mother? How did this happen? How did I get this brother, this sister? You recognize nothing. And you can't find what makes sense to you as a deity. These abusive gods in the main religions. Like, what? It's creating some of the most horrific structures that have ever been here, based on war. You want to be a warrior? Engage. They're going to suck you dry. You need to stand. And you need to breathe. And you need to expand. And you need to be fearless. Ferocity is within you. That's how you got here. Creation, creativity, genius. That's how you got here. And that's how you ended up trapped. But you knew you would be. Great of heart. Hearts sometimes so big that it feels like sometimes you opened up and there's an unending pool that could drown you. And there's nothing to anchor you. And some of you have been conditioned, well, all of us actually have been conditioned and programmed. Everything around us. In God we trust. God, 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 God. God's outside of us. Devils. Satanists. Oh, so you're Christian. Or are you Jewish? Islamic? Satanists, Satan only exists in a few religions. So you're upholding that by being the opposition? It's critical thinking. Or maybe just opening the heart mind. A very ancient structure. The structure to support who you were meant to be was here. That's why people, all of you, because part of what brought you here was the art of my little sign. Those are ox. That's an ox body. And it's a structure. And you know it. You know it. The cartouche, that cartouche is mine. But the first two pieces of that cartouche, that's Pharaoh's cartouche. Every Pharaoh. The sedge, the bee. I will support the aquafilters and the lungs of the earth. I will support its moving waters. And I will support the bee. Pharaoh was the biggest beekeeper ever. And it doesn't matter what country Pharaoh was in. Kemet, the Montauk's here, or if he was called something else, or she, in South America, or if it was in Ireland, if it was the Lady of the Lake eventually, it doesn't matter. All of them. They were the beekeepers. For the light of the world, the light in darkness, to light a candle. For the sweetness in life, and the scent of beauty, for the pollination of everything that supports life, that supports the sedge, that cleans the waters. And you knew all this. You knew all this coming in, because almost every one of you out there, you had some form of that ring on your hand in some lifetime. Before the cataclysm, after the cataclysm, but after the cataclysm, the structure was brought in to create of you a column of light between heaven and earth. Out of the quantum probability fields to get you into the field of free quantum creation. That's what Ancient Powers is all about. And that's just the beginning. Just the beginning. The different grounding, the crowns that open up, you will begin to know yourself. You've never known yourself. Ever. Because you've been trying to relate to a world that you were sent here to educate, to illuminate. You were sent here with the right structure, and you have it. And they killed you, and killed you, and killed you. They killed your ancestors. They killed the mystery keepers, tribe after tribe after tribe. You were born into a world of strangers. Your family. You were given the body and the genetics, and it locked you down into the genetic structure from that lineage. And you're healing that lineage. Even though it's not your soul lineage, it's not your spirit lineage. And as you heal that lineage, and as you ground the light into it, you do free the ancestors. But you've got to, in structure, open those gifts. Because if your gifts were open to what they really are, if your gifts were structured and open, they would have no power over you whatsoever. But if they're blown open, if they're not structured right, your thyroid goes, your endocrine system fails, all these illnesses that we're manifesting, they're illnesses within the earth itself without the structure to uphold it in connection to the sun. You are very important. I really don't think anyone has showed up here on my page without knowing that they have some form of mission, a duty, without knowing that they're connected to the stars. Every one of you is doing some form of creation in your lives through art, through healing, through sound, through vibration. Some of you actually are just creating home because you couldn't find one. You've created a garden. Maybe you eat from it, or maybe it grows the most beautiful flowers and it's full of the elemental beings. You've given them a place to live. Become important in your neighborhood because you're trusted. Because the most important thing you can do is find yourself and create home so that home can be made around you. Because the world is going to be changed from the inside out, from each column of light. And if you know you need the structure, if you feel you're ready, PM me. I can get you the same results that I have my other, I'll tell you, pharaohs. I'd be more than happy to talk with you. Hello, Mary. Yeah, I recognized you right away. I recognized all of you. It's Grace, Lauren, Gabriel. I recognized you in your work years ago in your photography. I didn't even have to look at you. Because she wears, she actually sees. Oh, I love the crow work she does, but she sees it, and her eyes move into its being, and she captures it at a moment of wholeness, of stillness, ready for motion. It's kind of uncanny, and I love her work. As I said, there's a lot of creators here, and I love you all. I'm very glad you're here, and I will continue to bring information because that's part of my mission. And I hope you guys start talking to each other. I've got stone pieces coming out, information on some stones coming out because I use them in my courses. And, you know, if you know what the frequencies are aligned to for this, they'll work for you. And PM me if you're ready, if you believe you're ready for the structure. And I will see you in another day or two again, because I have got a whole list from 25 years of working with the Starborn, and I'm going to address these pieces in these situations because I know you, and because you made me. You created me. You brought me in, because that's my mission. That's my mission. You asked for me. You really mean it. I don't want to read 6,000 books and find a thread of information in each one. Well, I did, and I'll help you. Neferka, and the rattling's my paper. I can't really make notes. I think I can make notes. I think I can talk to you here, but I can't type. Glenn Steele is probably going to be joining us from England later tonight. And as I said, Neferka, thou art beloved. Thou art beloved of Ra.